I want to speak directly to you safety Nazis out there. Be sure you're a safe flyer because you're dangerous and you're ruining the hobby and you're killing people left and right. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Oh God, people dying in the streets. That's what some would have you believe happens every time somebody flies a drone anywhere. I'm a big enthusiast of flying drones. I have been an RC enthusiast and lover of everything RC, from cars to boats to planes to helicopters, pretty much since I was old enough to hold a controller in my hands. In fact, one of the most fond memories that I have, as well as my parents have, is when they bought me a fairly serious remote controlled car when I was probably 5 or 6. And the first thing I did was I took it out in the front yard and managed to crash it into the only tree in our yard. I suppose that probably does not inspire a lot of confidence for this particular conversation, but I digress. So this week we had some rather, I would say fairly big drone news, and that DJI, pretty much the largest manufacturer of consumer off-the-shelf drones, released their new DJI Spark, which essentially, in my personal opinion, is an incredibly expensive selfie camera. And naturally, this has caused a complete upheaval once again of all of the drone safety Nazis to come out of the woodwork and start wagging their fingers in everybody's face, telling them how DJI is ruining the industry and ruining the hobby, and how it's creating hundreds of thousands of unsafe flyers that are gonna have drones falling from the sky, and it's gonna be Chicken Little, except it's gonna be metal objects falling on us. And I feel like I need to pour some cold water on this hysteria. I thought I would actually present some facts so that everybody can get a sense of exactly how dangerous it is out there. In fact, I would argue that the stigma that I receive from the general public flying my drone around has nothing to do with people crashing. It has everything to do with all of you safety Nazis out there making everybody believe that every time a drone goes up in the sky, it falls and kills somebody. I wanted to find out what the number of drone incidents were for the most recent year on record. In this case, it's 2016. So in this case, we're talking about the number of sightings reported by pilots of unmanned aerial vehicles in their vicinity or in their area. In this case, in 2016, there were 1,800 reports of sightings by pilots of drones flying. According to Avionics Today, none of those reports, I repeat, none of those reports in 2016 resulted in collisions. Major concern is that in 2015, there were 1,200 such sightings, and that the concern is the numbers are going up. However, we can conclude the numbers are going up because there are more drones being purchased and more in circulation. So let's do some basic math, because according to the FAA in 2015, when they opened their registration process, 670,000 drones were registered at that time. Now we have to also account for the fact that there are a number of drones that are unregistered because, well, you know, some people just don't care. So if you do the math, you get less than 1%, 0.2% to be precise. You could practically account that as a rounding error. Less than 1%, a fraction of 1% of all drones in circulation resulted in sightings by actual pilots. And then of course, from August of 2015 to January of 2016, the FAA at that point logged 500 incidents of drones doing things they weren't supposed to do. The vast majority of these were simply flying either at higher altitudes than 400 feet or near airports, but no actual incidents were reported. Please, all I'm saying is that maybe instead of whipping up hysteria and accusing everybody who buys an off-the-shelf drone of ruining the hobby and of endangering the public, we might actually want to consider the fact that the chances of a drone actually falling out of the sky, let alone injuring people, are so remote that they make the news because they don't happen very often. Otherwise, folks, for the most part, it's pretty much safe to operate everywhere else. It's pretty much safe to operate over public areas. And the fact of the matter is that just because the FAA has gotten all hysterical about this does not mean that there's an actual amount of perceived danger. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this. I want to speak directly to you safety Nazis out there, because I can't reach through the camera and strangle you like I'd like to. I'm speaking to you directly. I want you to stop for a second and think about that old cliche saying about how you shouldn't throw stones in glass houses. I can promise you that those of you who run around and wag the safety flag in everybody's face going, make sure you're a safe flyer because you're dangerous and you're ruining the hobby and you're killing people left and right. I promise you that you guys, especially if you drive with your 3,000-pound metal coffin that's hurtling down the freeway while you're on your cell phone texting on Facebook telling people they're ruining the hobby, you must not buy these drones. Let's all take a deep breath and let's just have fun flying. Go out there, get some epic video of your city, your town, wherever you live. Show everybody a new perspective. And just don't do stupid shit with your drone and you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be great. Happy flying, everybody. We'll see you out there.